On a chilly night in winter, when you're on the couch watching TV, do you ever wrap up in a blanket to get warm? Some students think that items such as blankets make you warm by producing heat. Well, unless it's an electric blanket, that's not actually the case. Instead, the blanket is acting as a thermal insulator. Welcome to Split-Second Science. In this video, we'll classify matter based on its ability to insulate thermal energy. By testing various materials, we'll be able to answer the guiding question: what materials are insulators of thermal energy? To help deepen and support student learning, we'll be implementing the HISD Elementary Science Best Practice, the Interactive Notebook. In HISD, this lesson aligns with the science standard, SCI 5.6.A, and the IP rubrics, I2, I3, and I6. Before and during the investigation, teachers should be prepared to model and integrate instructional strategies, model interactive notebook expectations, and consistently provide written feedback in students' notebooks. Let's review the steps students should follow in making an investigation entry in their interactive notebook. As a great resource for students, the interactive notebook supports the importance of recording, classifying, and organizing investigation data. Step 1. Students need to include the investigation title. Which material makes the best insulator? Then, ask your students to write down their predictions ahead of the actual investigation. Questions could include: which material will cause the ice to melt the fastest? Which material will cause the ice to melt the slowest? Step 2. Always make sure that students write down the materials needed. In this investigation, they will need aluminum foil, 4 rubber bands, 4 3-ounce cups, plastic wrap, timer, 1 styrofoam cup ripped into pieces, a baking pan in which to place the 4 clear cups, 4 clear plastic cups, cotton balls, warm water, and ice. Make sure students write down the procedures they are to follow in carrying out the investigation. For this investigation, they are to use a timer to record the amount of time it takes for the ice to completely melt in each cup. Now it's time for the students to conduct the investigation. Remember, as the investigation moves along, teachers should guide students to explain what they think will happen and justify their thinking. Let's watch as the teacher development specialist demonstrates. Add insulating materials to the bottom of the bigger cup. Put an ice cube into the small cup. Insert the smaller cup into the bigger cup. Add insulating materials around the small cup. Secure plastic wrap around the top of the cup with a rubber band. Repeat with other insulating materials, cotton and styrofoam. The 4th cup has no insulator, simply using air. Insert cups into the pan and pour in warm water. Start timer and observe. Step 3. Scientific drawings help students with lesson objectives and content retention. Have students create a scientific drawing of how they conducted the investigation. All drawings should follow the ABCD format: accurate, big, colorful, detailed. Step 4. As the investigation proceeds, have students record content aligned to the day's learning outcomes. As students observe the ice melting, have them record their observations in their interactive notebook. A great way for students to organize and clarify investigation results is to record data in a table. They can also produce a bar graph for further interpretation. Step 5. During and after the investigation, remind students to use the outcomes as a reference tool to cultivate thinking, process new ideas, and make connections. All students should be drawing conclusions based on their findings after the investigation. Teachers can provide sentence stems or sentence starters for support. This is a great teacher resource when providing authentic feedback to students. It is recommended that teachers provide feedback to students at least once a week. Consistent feedback is vital for student success. Feedback can be written directly into the notebook or added to the notebook via sticky notes. Let's take a minute to recap today's lesson. We demonstrated the ability of various materials to act as insulators of thermal energy. We addressed the misconception that insulators, like blankets, create heat, and that heat is replaced by cold. Instead, insulators trap heat to keep things warm. We utilized the science best practice, interactive notebook, as a tool for students to access, process, and spiral learning. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the other segments of Split Second Science.